Hi, my name is Stephen Rose. I am the guitarist for the technical death metal band Cortexiphan, and today I'm going to show you how to perform sweep picking on guitar. Sweeping is a very useful technique because it's used in a lot of solos, and it'll definitely improve your lead playing, and it'll make it a lot easier to write solos as well, as I've had in my experience. Now you might be asking yourself, what exactly is sweep picking? Well, sweep picking is just arpeggios but on guitar. And what arpeggios are the notes in a chord, but just split up and played a little differently. For example, you see how we have right here we have an A minor chord, and you hear all those notes there. And if that was arpeggiated, it would be. See how it's the same notes in that same chord? And the same thing goes for a major chord, like for example an A major. Just, of course, slightly different notes in a slightly different sweeping pattern. Okay, so now I will teach you the basic minor and major sweeping patterns. So the minor, we're going to do this in A minor, and you're going to start with the on the 12th fret on the 5th string, and then you're going to going up a string each time. You're going to be going to the 10th fret on the 4th string, then the 9th on the 3rd string, 10th on the 2nd string, and then the 8th on the 1st string, and then you're going to hammer on to the 12th fret on the 1st string. And then you do the same pattern now, just reversed. So, now the major pattern is very similar, but obviously really different. So we're going to start on the 12th fret on the 5th string, just as you started the other one, and then you're going to go to the 11th fret on the 4th string, and then the 9th fret on the 3rd string, 10th fret on the 2nd string, and 9th fret on the 1st string, and then hammer on to that 12th fret on the 1st string as well. And that is your major pattern. You're going to do the same thing going downwards. One of the most important things about sweeping that will take a lot of time to really get down is synchronizing your right hand with your left hand and making sure that your right hand is doing a fluid sweeping motion. Because usually when you're playing, you'd be picking each note like very precisely. You wouldn't be doing it in much of a fluid motion, really. You would be, digging into it. But with sweeping, the most important thing, and probably the most challenging thing at first, is getting that fluid sweeping motion down with your right hand. And the only way to really get that down is to start out really slowly and to really, really focus on your right hand and make sure that it's very smooth and fluid and in one motion, because otherwise once you speed up and you start going a little faster, if you don't have that sweeping fluid motion, your sweeps are not going to be very clean, and you're just not going to be able to get up to that speed. I also wrote a little exercise for to practice your sweeping. One very basic way that's a good way to practice is switching very slowly between a minor and a major one. For example, see, and you can do that over and over at any tempo that you feel comfortable with, and just keep repeating it until you build up that speed. Now I'll show you a practice exercise that I use to warm up, and it's just really good to just practice sweeping, and it's a little more musical than just that simple warm-up I showed you earlier. See, it's this chord progression. It's going to be an A minor and a G major, F major, E major, F major, G major, and then back to the A minor. and we're just going to arpeggiate all of those chords right there. Okay, so I'll play it very slowly. We're going to start with that A minor arpeggio. Okay, so that's that same A minor shape we went over earlier. And then down to a G major arpeggio. So that is just a that same major shape that I showed you earlier, just shifted down 2 frets. And then to an F major, which is, of course, that same major shape that we just used, and just shifted down 2 more frets. And then to an E major, which is that same shape, just brought down 1 more fret from where we just were, and then back up to that F major. Okay, and then up to that G major again, and then finishing back off with that A minor. And you can just repeat that as much as you want with a comfortable speed, and just make sure you pay attention to that right hand, of course, and synchronizing both hands. And I'll show you that that exercise one more time up to speed. Okay, I'll play that one more time, a little slower. This should give you a pretty good overview of 5-string sweeping and the basic major and minor patterns of 5-string sweeping. But I'll put some links in the description to some other videos of 6-string sweeping and some other techniques as well.